I have here green tea, black tea, dandelion tea, hibiscus tea, and some Cambodia. Very good. I recommend you get you some this afternoon, if at all you can, or wherever time it is where you are. I had an employee come to me yesterday and say, I need to talk to you about something. And we were busy with some staffing issues, so I said, okay. And then I thought about it, and I said, what does she want? Could she be quitting? Am I going to have to replace her position? Did she get in trouble with another director of another department? And am I going to have to, is she softening the blow so that I won't react as negatively when he tells me about it? So I'm sitting here wondering, through all the other stresses I have in the day, and I'm thinking to myself, what does she want? Well, finally she clears it up, and then it's behind me. But the purpose of that is to illustrate what is often an issue for so many of us, cognitive load. Cognitive load is where a series of little decisions add up throughout a day, thus making your day more difficult. So think about all the decisions you make in a day. Picking up kids, taking kids to asthma treatments in the middle of the night, going and having to grab stuff from the store you forgot. Think about all the little problems that can add up in a day. Well, that's cognitive load. What I want to do is have as few problems as I can have. Now, the problems that we have drive us forward. Instead of being negative, they're actually positive. And sometimes we look at them wrong because they're the things that motivate us. But if I can help it, I want as few issues as I can have, because you don't want to add to the problems you already have. Well, food should not be among those decisions. But the problem is we think too much about food. And I tell people who are beginning their intermittent fasting plan, the best thing you can do is to eliminate decisions based on your food. You do not want to be thinking about food except 2 hours a day. 1 hour to prepare your food, and 2, that, of course, to eat and enjoy your food. And during that time, be planning about what you're going to have next for the next day. So you think, I'm having rice and beans and cornbread today, I'm going to have a hamburger tomorrow. Make your decision, but like Captain Kirk, make it boldly, make it quickly. And the huge issue there is decision making in your eating. You will find that when you take longer to make decisions, you make worse decisions. It's like a test. You change the answer, you often get it wrong. The issue is, if you do it right, if you do it well, you're going to make a decision, and it's probably going to be the best decision you could make. If I don't make good decisions, I penalize myself. So when I was fasting to lose the bulk of my weight, and I said, you know what, I can't decide if I want Mexican or Italian. You know what it was? It was the neck. If I was out driving, it was, if there was a Wendy's next to me, I'm turning into Wendy's, and it's going to be one little burger and a small fries and Diet Coke. That's it. Done. If I was at home, it's going to be whatever can of sardines is in the pantry. And I would always punish myself by going to a ridiculously low calorie amount for that day to reinforce the fact that decisions on your food have to be kept in a priority level, because we're so freaking crazily food spoiled in this country. How dare I sit there and focus on what I'm going to eat when there's people on this planet who will not eat for a week because they're in a part of the world where it's really hard to get food. Make decisions decisively. The first thing, when I can't decide what I want, it's the first thing. Now, all of these things are simple little tips that are designed to help you with your decision making. But remember, overall, it's your cognitive load and your ability to handle problems that's the issue here. If you want to enjoy your food more, you'll find that when you make a snap decision, it's usually better. Have you ever eaten at a place, decided to eat at a place, and then you realized, you know what, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I thought I would. You probably thought too long about it. You probably got into a situation where you thought and thought and thought, and you said, maybe I want this. Well, I did two things. As a binger, I would end up eating two things. If I wanted Thai and Mexican food, and I would end up having two because I could never decide which one I wanted. Whereas if I had just picked one and said, here's what we're eating today, and let it go, it would be a much better deal. It would, for me, and it'll work the same way for you. Make your decisions quickly, and you'll find that more choices open up. And that's the irony. more choices is not good. It's like shipping items on eBay. When you have free shipping versus overnight shipping, all of that is more impediment for your customers to buy, to click the buy button, because now they're thinking about how much they're going to spend, whether or not they really need it, etc., etc. Fewer choices is better. Less cognitive load is better. And just like I started out saying, you have enough problems in your life. You have enough things that need, you got to think about bills, you've got to think about work, you've got to think about kids, you've got to think about how good your kids are doing in school, you've got to think about what, everything. Just let imagination run wild. You know what I'm talking about. So I hope this has been helpful. Make your decisions like Captain Kirk. If you're too young to know who Captain Kirk is, I really can't help you. Make decisions decisively, make decisions powerfully, and when they're made, stick by them. You'll find that you have more choices as a result.